Another thing, 21 years ago today, Tom Brady was drafted. So that means his career could buy a beer.
Oh my God.
Talk about old money. Could have bought a dinosaur.
That's pretty crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Many moons ago.
To think about what the NFL was like, you know what's funny? I feel like first of all, I remember that Super Bowl very specifically. I remember the freaking the Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk Rams.
There's certain ones that just stick.
Yeah, very, very upset about that shit. But Tom Brady, like, it's funny. I actually watched something pretty recently on YouTube talking about, like, the whole Drew Bledsoe thing and his whole injury. And, like, that injury literally almost killed him because he had so much internal bleeding. Like, leave it to the Jets to fuck 20 years of the Jets. Like, talk about a curse. Like, if the Jets, not even 20 years, the Jets cursed the NFL for 21 years and counting by hurting Drew Bledsoe. Tom Brady was
and
a
they let go of Belichick.
He never would have played. Like, yeah.
Belichick was our coach. It was his first coaching job ever.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that would have... everyone says that, you know, that, like, Tom Brady would never play. I don't know. Knowing how Bill Belichick is, like, the same way that...
how good Tom Brady is, his talent probably would have stood out.
Well, that's the whole thing. Number
Hold
one...
on, but Belichick brought it out of him.
No, well, I agree.
If you'd be so kind.
I agree to that to a point, but also the fact of, like... And my example to that would be that they would move Bledsoe out and put Tom Brady in the same way that Belichick was going to move Brady out and bring Garoppolo in. Like, I think Bill Belichick's just that kind of coach, that if he sees someone being...
The opportunity, like, you kind of know when you have to make the change. And
Yeah.
he's the kind of... yeah, but you know, that's not a knock on Belichick. It's not a knock on Brady. It's just...
Would it have happened as early? No, obviously not. But I think Bill Belichick, being how Bill Belichick is, he would have still done it anyway.
Well, if you think about it, too, and hindsight is 20/20, but...
Captain Hindsight?
Yeah, if Belichick would have went with Garoppolo, I mean, Garoppolo's career might have been different, but if it went the route it went now, it would have been a pretty fucking dumb move, going with Garoppolo over Brady.
Yeah.
Well,
Garoppolo's career went the way it did.
If they would have kept him, I'm pretty sure... I'm not... Screw the Garoppolo talk, actually. This speaks more to Josh McDaniels. So, that offense last year was literally... nothing like the Patriots we've ever seen.
No.
Now they added 2 tight ends. They added wide receivers. They added so much shit to that team. It's going to look different again. So I think maybe if Garoppolo would have stayed, they would have tailored that offense to be successful for Garoppolo.
So here's my thing where I disagree, because no matter what, is that the fact that we have to go on what is now technically, they would have made the wrong decision because they got one more Super Bowl ring by keeping Tom Brady and not going with Garoppolo. And
How do you know they wouldn't have, though?
Because I have to go on what's the given.
I know that, but
yeah. Well, and they did get another ring, but the Garoppolo season they lost the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The Garoppolo season's when they lost to the Eagles.
in the following year, after Garoppolo was hurt, they went to the Super Bowl. So it looked like, Garoppolo was good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude,
Garoppolo's been screwed by his lack of health. Like, straight up, he was screwed on the Patriots by his lack of health. Who knows what would have happened if Garoppolo didn't get hurt that year? If Brissett never came in, the year that Tom Brady was suspended, Garoppolo got hurt. If he never got hurt, maybe Belichick would have just made the big dick move and been like, I'm starting Garoppolo. It is what it is. I'm not bringing Brady back. Kraft, if you want to get rid of me, get rid of me. But that's the only way you're starting Brady.
But that shows that Robert Kraft knows what he has with Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah.
And that, there's only one Bill Belichick. There might be another Tom Brady somewhere.
Well, again, that goes to the... not to interrupt, but that goes to the conspiracy that Bill Belichick threw the Super Bowl against the Eagles. Because that was the year that...
Malcolm Butler was crying on the sideline.
Yeah. A lot of people think he benched Malcolm Butler to throw the Super Bowl because Kraft traded Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So he spited him. He was like, fuck this, I have so many rings, I don't need another one.
Could you imagine?
I don't think he would.
No.
But...
No, especially not against the Eagles.
And that's the whole thing is,
Speaking the devil.
So, this is where, to Bill Belichick, like I said, he's a genius in the sense, sure, they did lose that Super Bowl, but, You benched Malcolm Butler for Stephon Gilmore, who ended up
Being a lot better.
Lot better.
But at
So,
that time,
I'm just saying.
Malcolm Butler was coming off an All-Pro season,
And that's what he was saying.
saying.
And that's what he was saying. But Bill Belichick's like, listen, this kid's freaking killing you in practice, doing way better than you and stuff like that. He's like,
yeah.
it's a Super Bowl. I'm gonna put the best
Well, he
player
wasn't
in.
replaced by Gilmore. Gilmore was just great. Gilmore was Gilmore.
Yeah, and Malcolm Butler got in trouble.
Yeah.
He was benched because he like got in trouble.
Yeah.
He was like grounded basically for the game. And I see what you're saying, but the Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick is smart enough to know, like, Super Bowl's not the fucking place that you make that, it's prove yourself day. If you don't do it today, we're not going to start you going forward.
Well, they didn't.
Like,
They traded him to Tennessee.
no, but that's what I'm saying, like with Stephon Gilmore.
True.
And I think Bill Belichick also just gets rid of people before he has to pay them. Like
he's
I think the worst thing you can
He
do.
got rid of Jamie Collins, and
That's
they
what I'm
brought
saying.
him back because he got paid.
Yeah,
he got paid with the Rams and brought him back.
I think the worst thing you can be on the Patriots is good.
Right?
Because then you're
You have to
going to
be
need money.
just good
That's
enough.
why they've never had a receiver. Like, they've never had an all-star,
Well, that's why
drafted young receiver that they've had to pay because
They're proving it
Only
this year.
Edelman.
They're
And
proving
they didn't pay him.
they're proving it this year that they're spending money.
Well, they have to go a different route, period. They
That's
have
all
to
I'm saying.
acquire
And they-
draft
yeah,
capital.
and they spend money on
They don't
guys
have Tom Brady's,
when they have
period. So they have everything has to be different.
That's what I'm saying. It's just the NFL now. It's like whoever's willing to pay now, like the Chiefs, like the Bucks, like whoever's just willing to pay is going to win at the end of the day. And Bill Belichick's starting to realize, he's like, shit, I'm always going to be that always make a playoff team and never going to win because Kansas City still has all the goddamn best players in the entire NFL.
Well, hold on. I say yes and no with the paying thing. I think it's
We
you have
just
to be
seen them
willing.
get
You
paid.
have to be willing to pay, but you also have to have a team of players that's willing to take a hit on their paycheck
Sacrifice
for
within
other players,
reason. Yeah.
like what Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and
That's what I'm
Patrick
saying.
Mahomes are all doing. Where they're all getting paid, but they're also like you don't have guys that are like I want to get paid like Aaron Rodgers right now. So I'm taking every dollar no matter what. I don't care if it cripples.
No,
the
and the
team.
Chiefs will always want to be there in the end, so they're always going to.
Yeah, and I would say
team friendly.
as it sits right now, probably over the last 2 or 3 years, as of right now, Andy Reid is probably the best coach in the NFL. I think he not all time, but I think
On the
he's-
offensive side of the ball,
Yeah, I think he's
100%.
surpassed Bill Belichick over the last few years. And again, he has the weapon where Bill Belichick always had the main guy. He had the nuke. Where now Andy Reid has the nuke. But I think if you look back, Andy Reid's probably always been number 2 to Bill Belichick. And just in the last few years, I think Bill Belichick, Brady didn't do good his last year with the Patriots. And then this past year with Cam Newton, it just wasn't a good year. And Andy Reid's on the up. And he's like Belichick, where he's also a GM. He's made the right moves. I would say the last
Andy
few
Reid?
years, Andy Reid, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he moved up to take Patrick Mahomes. He's the one that made that call.
Yep. And then Sean Payton literally came out and said
No, I don't
afterwards
think
that
he's the GM, though. I just think he has a lot of.
No.
Well, he's
but-
not the GM, but neither is Bill Belichick. He's
No,
not
Bill
the
Belichick is the GM.
He's
No,
the
Bill-
actual
yeah,
GM.
he's the actual
Yeah.
GM.
Okay.
But they just get Andy Reid has a lot of player personnel.
that's the whole thing.
Like he has control.
And
of
even Sean
personnel.
Payton stated that if they didn't move up to take him, they were going to move off Drew Brees and take Patrick Mahomes. They knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to be that level.
And
of
now
talent.
they're paying for it.
Like, that's the whole thing. It's like Patrick Mahomes. Maybe he didn't learn. Maybe he
They
did.
took Marshawn Lattimore in that draft, actually. The Saints
Which was-
the Saints
No.
took Marshawn. Yep, same draft. I just watched the thing on it last night.
Was
Yeah,
it that same draft?
Dude,
They took
either way,
They had
that's a
they had the
safe
11th
pick. That was a safe pick, and Lattimore's a great
Lattimore's
player.
beast, yeah.
No.
But hold on.
we didn't-
Before we get too far away from the Patriots talk, happy 69th birthday to Bill Belichick.
Nice.
What a fossil.
Lucky
Nice.
69 this year. Maybe they'll go. No.
No.
You think Bill Belichick has a hot wife?
Can't go 69.
Gotta.
You've seen his
Gotta.
wife.
It's gotta. I bet you she's hot.
She's hella attractive for a Bill Belichick. Put it that way. She's some blonde chick.
Good for Bill Belichick.
Good for Bill Belichick.
Good for Bill Belichick.
You go, Bill Belichick.
He's not Robert Kraft, getting handies for,
Hey, you got handies at the Chinese massage parlor.
You know Bill Belichick is getting that birthday, that 69th birthday special tonight.
The 69 special on the 69th birthday.
Seriously. But now it's first of all, how old? Yeah, like it's kind of crazy. Like again, not to like do a little ageism right now, but it's kind of crazy to think that Bill Belichick is still coaching the NFL at 69 years old. Like that's
I know.
like,
Well, Andy Reid's a
why
fossil.
would you like again? You're making all that money, but like
It's not hard.
You don't. It's not.
It's not physically demanding.
No,
it's
but it is a
mentally
stressful
draining.
job.
If we're gonna
you don't
talk-
want to just like retire. Just
If,
say,
if,
like,
we're-
fuck
if
it.
we're gonna if we're gonna talk about old man fossils and coaching, let's talk about Pete Carroll. Like,
Well, Pete Carroll is
old is Pete Carroll?
old like
Check it for
Andy
me.
Reid. Like
I think he's younger than Bill Belichick. I think Bill Belichick might be the
no,
oldest coach.
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's older.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's
Maybe-
70 something.
Maybe by a year or two.
same age, 69.
What?
But
Pete Carroll's older.
He's like a year older because
Yes.
he turned 70 this year.
That's like when you're a twin and you're 5 minutes older.
So not Bill Belichick, but
Andy Reid is old.
I feel like Pete Carroll still looks young because he chews gum and he bends over.
He chews gum and his hands are on his
Yeah.
knees and he's
Yeah.
running back and forth and smiling and cheering.
Yeah.
Well, that's something. He's
Like, so he
youthful.
still has his own teeth if he's chewing gum.
No, but that's all.
He's-
Because people that have dentures do not. That's. What do you think? That's a.
And if you don't
that's not
know,
a joke.
now you
I'm
know.
just
It's not a
saying.
joke. People that have dentures can't chew gum.
What if they're permanents?
I still don't think they could. I still don't think it's good for them to chew gum. I really don't. I really don't think you're
Don't
supposed
act
to chew
like.
gum.
So what do
because
you
things
chew,
aren't
a
good
rubber
for you,
band?
They don't do it.
No, you just don't.
If you
chew
have,
gum.
what if you have to chew on something?
Why would you have
Like,
to chew?
I'm just
that's
saying.
Not, that's not like a physical need.
No, what if you just quit smoking or something? You need to chew on something.
Sunflower seeds.